Working families watching this play out have a right to know that socialism and communism are not just confined in New York City. They are quickly coming to a town near you unless you stand up and let your voice of common sense be heard. While Democrats hitch their wagon to the socialist agenda, Republicans are going to continue to act in good faith on behalf of hardworking Americans. And we will remind a new generation of Americans about the painful and inescapable realities of history.
The Speaker of the House, Congressman Mike Johnson, this morning holding his daily press conference on Capitol Hill because the Republicans want to open the government. The Democrats want to kill the United States of America dead. I got to pause and listen to this a little bit. Hang on, because here comes the main. It's all right. It's not entirely all right at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. As our number one mailbag questioner asked today, Nona, what now? And the Speaker of the House addressing that a bit. You know, the Democrat Party there's a global war going on between communism and freedom. And that's been going on for more than 100 years now. But, and look, I talked about because the Democrats talking about Eugene Debs, Zoran Mamdani, yesterday, mentioning Eugene Debs, the Socialist Party candidate for the presidency more than 100 years ago in the United States, who was sent to prison by progressive Democrat President Woodrow Wilson, who was a progressive Democrat racist segregationist. And he put the socialist in prison for protesting against World War I. Now Zoran Mamdani is trying to breathe life back into Eugene Debs, the Socialist Party candidate in the 1920, 1916. Isn't that absolutely amazing? And the crowd went wild in New York City for the name Eugene Debs being mentioned.
But as Eugene Debs once said,
what is going on here? Is this a meeting of the Communist Party in Madison Square Garden with armbands? And what is a Eugene Debs? Are you kidding me? My Lord. And, of course, you know, in Virginia, they've got Jay Jones, who won last night to become the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia, the state of Virginia. And Jay Jones, you know, he wanted to shoot the Republican leader in the state capitol in the head twice with the only 2 bullets he has, letting Adolf Hitler escape and Pol Pot escape. He just wanted to murder the Republican, and then his children wanted to kill them in the arms of their mother. And I was reminded, my friend Jeff this morning reminded me that Jay Jones also suggested, and this is what he said, well, he wanted to kill the police, and now he's the chief law enforcement officer. He's going to be when he's sworn in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And he said he's talking about police officers being murdered, and he said, well, maybe if a few of them died, then they'd move on. Not shooting people, not killing people. That's what the new Democrat, Jay Jones, chief law enforcement officer, the attorney general in the state of Virginia. That's what he said. Kill cops. Then maybe those terrible cops would stop shooting people and killing people. So he's a would-be cop killer, right? Isn't that amazing? And he craves murdering Republicans with the only 2 bullets he has, while he would let Adolf Hitler live, the head of the Socialist Workers' Party of Germany, and he would let Pol Pot live, the communist mass murderer in Cambodia. Pol Pot, not so bad. Adolf Hitler, not so bad. The Republican leader in the Virginia Senate, well, he's got to be shot in the head. And then the police, the police are the bad guys, that maybe they should stop shooting people and stop killing the police. And this is after a police officer was murdered. And he said, well, maybe if a few of them died, that they would move on. Not shooting people, not killing people. As Jay Jones, he's now the Democrat Attorney General in Virginia. He hasn't been sworn in yet, but he presumably will be. Isn't that amazing? And Democrats came out and voted for him in throngs. Wow. These people, yes, sir, Jay Jones, kill the Republican speaker, kill the Republican speaker's children, kill cops, and he won because Democrats all voted for him. And I can only conclude then that they favor these notions as policies. I've never voted for anyone that said anything like this, but isn't that amazing? These people get the cops, get the Republican speaker, get their children, kill them all, and of course all of that is fine with Democrat voters in Virginia and elsewhere around the country. Anti-police, fanatically, violently, anti-Republican. Trump derangement syndrome is well established as a mental illness. Just extraordinary. And the headlines today, Democrat Jay Jones wins Virginia Attorney General race. NBC News. They're very excited. Overcoming backlash to his violent texts. His bloodthirsty, ghoulish texts. The Washington Post, Democrat Jay Jones wins Virginia Attorney General's race. That's the entire headline there. Jones, a former state delegate, overcame a scandal over violently worded text messages in what was seen as the state's most competitive contest, and the Democrats won all of them. They won all of them. And this is the one I kind of assumed that they were going to win the governor's mansion, and that's tragic and sad and racist because the Democrat Party, the party of the Confederate States of America, and now the new governor, they defeated the black woman, right, who would have become the first black woman governor of Virginia. The Democrat that won is the first woman governor of Virginia, or will be when she is sworn in. But I got to tell you, and the headlines everywhere, Jones overcomes mounting scandals to defeat Jason Miyares. Jason Miyares is a great American, and he's on the side of America and Virginians. And the Democrat Party voters are I don't want to call them a cancer. I'll just call them monkeypox. They're monkeypox on the body politic in the United States of America. They are really something. Jay Jones. Gerald. His real first name is Jerrauld. Gerald. That's his actual first name. So that's why he goes by Jay, because Gerald is too hard to explain. But he's a wannabe political assassin, a wannabe cop killer, a wannabe baby killer, and that's where the Democrats agree with him. Those are the areas where Democrat voters agree with him. Pretty amazing stuff. Our politics. Yes, sir. Now, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a Democratic socialist, right? She's a member of this cabal of America destroying radicals, and the news media, they love her. They just want to get in the hot tub with her. She was AOC. She was on CNN, and she was asked on CNN, well, now that Zohran Mamdani has won the mayor's office because she's allegedly from New York, but she went to a really nice high school in a tree-lined suburb in Westchester County in New York, and then she pretends she's from the Bronx or something because everything has to be a lie. But here's AOC on CNN, sorry for all the abbreviations, yesterday. Who's really the face of the Democrat Party? Who is the face of the Democratic Party at this point? Is it Zohran Mamdani? Is it Abigail Spanberger?
It's funny. This is a similar debate that I saw happen when I was first elected.
No, it's not.
And at the end of the day, I don't think that our party needs to have one face.
I don't think our party needs to have one face. Well, for decades now, you've been two-faced. You've been a two-faced party. So I think what AOC is saying, that we're a two-faced party, and that's okay. We don't need to have one face. Come on. Were it not for double faces, the Democrats would have no faces. Oh, honestly, that she said we don't need to have one face. Well, you've been a two-faced party for longer than I can remember, so I guess just keep up the two-faced thing. AOC.
Our assignment every everywhere is to send the strongest fighters for the working class wherever possible.
Strongest
in some
fighters.
places,
Communists.
like Virginia for the gubernatorial seat, that's going to look like Abigail Spanberger. In New York City, unequivocally, it is Zohra Mamdani.
Unequivocally, that's a big word for her. Wonder where she got that word. Somebody must have given her the unequivocally. That's a lot of syllables for AOC. Remarkable. Our Democrat Party. That's it. Don't have to have one face. The party of two-face party. Wow. That's just extraordinary. Let's go to number 18. Number 18. Abigail Spanberger, since she was just mentioned by AOC, the two faces of the Democrat Party. One of the faces of the Democrat Party is Abigail Spanberger. And listen to these lies. And the Democrats, they've latched onto this word. The word is affordability. Oh, well, that's a positive word. I'm in favor of everybody's in favor of affordability. The Democrats say that their mission is affordability. They're going to make crack cocaine less expensive with open borders, fentanyl less expensive because you don't want to be going after the drug traffickers or the cartels or anything like that. And what else? The stolen cars and illegal alien labor. They're going to make that more affordable because, they love slavery. And the best they can do today is illegal aliens doing all of your illegal labor for you at a reduced cost. But listen to this. They're going to make everything less expensive. They're not. Now, I don't know, if there are some people out there maybe just started watching politics yesterday, but the Democrats always make these promises that they're going to make food less expensive, and they invariably make food more expensive, that there are going to be more grocery stores in your neighborhood, and then invariably you live in a food desert because all the grocery stores leave because of all the crime and the shoplifting and that the police won't show up anymore because nobody cooperates. And here's Abigail Spanberger. She's the incoming governor of Virginia.
We are going to work to lower costs of renting, buying, or staying in your home. We are going to cut red tape and build homes families can actually afford.
You're going to build houses, the government and the state?
We're going to lower health care costs. We're going to crack down on
Obama
predatory
did that.
Pharmaceutical practices and surprise billing.
Trump has already done that. You guys already fixed health care. It turned the economy upside down and destroyed health care in the United States of America to a very large extent. And it's called Obamacare. You also laughingly called it the Affordable Care Act and made it much more expensive for everybody. And now, did she really say they're going to, whether you're renting or buying or living in your car, I added living in your car, we're going to make it more affordable to live in. She said we're going to build, like the state of Virginia is going to build houses, and those houses that the state builds are going to be more affordable, and you're going to buy them from the state?
We are going to cut red tape and build homes families can actually afford.
You're going to cut red tape. The state of Virginia is going to build homes. They're in and you're going to undercut private industry building homes and building communities on private property. And the idiots say woo. They always say woo. Boy. So that's what communists do, and that goes with Zohra Mamdani, who's going to open state-run grocery stores and the city. It's not even the state; it's the city in New York, and they're going to make things more affordable. How are you going to do that? Explain that, and not a single filthy, rotten, stinking reporter asked the questions. Well, you say you're going to make housing more affordable. You're going to build, the state's going to get in the business of building housing, and then you're going to sell it, and you're going to undercut the private sector. The state is going to make it more affordable. Explain that. And you're going to do that with health care in the state of Virginia. How are you going to do that? Obama already did that. The Democrats already did that. A recent study revealed that just 1 year after getting an abortion, women are 50% more likely to need psychiatric help, psychiatric treatment, and women are 87% more likely to experience personality or behavioral disorders. And that is what the Democrats call women's health care. That is not women's health care. That is trauma. But at preborn, the wonderful people at preborn, women find a real kind of care. The kind that heals. When a woman walks into a preborn clinic, part of their network of clinics, she is welcomed with open arms by loving people. She can see her baby through an ultrasound, waving and blinking and clutching at things. And she's offered hope-filled choices of hope. And if she chooses life, and it's her choice, preborn continues walking with her for up to 2 years, providing maternity clothes, diapers, counseling. Hey, how do I be the mother of a newborn baby? And so much more. Preborn helps to care for the whole woman and, of course, for the precious baby, the helpless, innocent little person growing inside of her. As you think about your year-end donations, your year-end giving, consider the greatest investment you could ever make, the gift of life. All you have to do is dial pound 250, and when prompted, you say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, the keyword is baby, or you can go online to preborn.com/plant. That's me. That's preborn.com/plant. All your gifts are, of course, tax deductible, and Preborn has a 5-star rating as a charity. Doesn't get any better than that. The Democratic Party isn't. Common courtesy isn't. Friendly fire isn't. And the Democratic Party isn't. All right, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Mark, calling from Jasper, Tennessee. Mark, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm great, Mark. What do you say?
Well, I just can't believe how you and the media haven't covered all the right-wing rioting and looting after the election results.
The fire bombings and the attacking the governor's mansions and the police stations and the police cars. Yeah, I know. We just don't. There was that one little dust-up for about 2 hours on Capitol Hill on January 6th, and the Democrats can't stop talking about it, can they?
No, they can't.
Yeah, 500, 600 riots for them, and that's okay.
Absolutely. But I'm also, I can't wrap my head around the Jewish community voting for Mamdani.
Right.
It's definitely, to me, a battle between good and evil. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Well, that is absolutely what it is. It makes sense to you because you're a person of great common sense. CNN exit polls showed that Zohran Mamdani received about 30% of the Jewish vote, about 30%. And Andrew Cuomo allegedly received, between Cuomo and Sliwa, got about 70% of the Jewish vote. But 3 in 10 Jewish voters in New York, allegedly, according to CNN, voted for Mamdani, who chants from the river to the sea. Well, the thing is, they're Democrats, and that's the problem right there, because they're on the left, and then their brains stop working for them the way that they were designed to work. In Minneapolis, the Democrats ran Jihadi against another Democrat. It's down to Jacob Fry. It's the Democrats. They do this in New York. They had 2 Democrats running, Cuomo, right? And, of course, Zohran Mamdani, who's a communist and a jihadi. And in Minneapolis, they're running this guy, Omar Fatah. You know Omar Fatah? He became famous in the movie Captain Phillips. Captain Phillips, he played the hijacker with the AK-47 and the bad teeth that hijacked the ship, the working ship. He didn't really, but he looks just like the ship hijacker from the movie Captain Phillips, Omar Fatah. And that is almost a no-go zone, like the idiot lefties in France have created for Islamists who want their own neighborhood where Sharia law rules and where the police can't even come into the areas and the no-go zones. The Democrats are working on Islamists' no-go zones in the United States of America. That'll make things better because they're very open-minded. But running against Jacob Fry, who is the, longtime mayor, left-wing, radical, anti-police. In fact, we've played audio of the Democrat mayor of Minneapolis in the past. He really, really liked George Floyd, and he really dislikes the police, like all the Democrats do, I think. Isn't that true? And isn't that amazing? And now that race is neck and neck. It looks like maybe Jacob Fry, they haven't called it yet, looks like maybe the current past regular Democrat, Mayor Jacob Fry, is going to lead. He's got about, or win. He's got about 42% of the vote. But it remains to be seen. Maybe the Captain Phillips hijacker, Omar Fattah, could still win. And it may be close enough that it would have to go to a runoff. And then maybe Omar Fattah could call in, the terror groups from Africa or something to take over Minneapolis. It used to be such a nice city, You might just make it after all. You have to rewrite that song because now they might not make it after all. You might not make it after all. It's the city of Minneapolis, no longer the land of Mary Tyler Moore. Isn't that great? Also, the Democrats that shut down the government, the Schumer shutdown, and the Democrats have voted 14 times to keep the government shut down. And now the Democrats are screaming, what about food stamps? What about air traffic controllers? Well, maybe guys shouldn't have shut down the government in order to hold a gun to the head of the American baby and extort another $1.5 trillion to bail out Obamacare, which you people all voted for. And they call it the Affordable Care Act, right? It's like, the War Powers Act is that, a Peace and Tranquility Act. Right? Even the Washington Post said, turns out that the Affordable Care Act wasn't affordable at all. That's your Democrat Party. They are truly something, aren't they? Yes, they are. And in New Jersey, well, that's 42 seconds. She's tedious. The Mickey Sherrill, the incoming Democrat governor of New Jersey. But I tell you, let's just talking about the Democrat government shutdown. Let's go to number 20, because we have a secretary of the Department of Transportation, and it's not transgender. It's not the Department of Transgender. It's the Department of Transportation. Sean Duffy, former member of the House of Representatives, and seems to be a good squared-away guy. And he's talking about what the Democrats have done to air traffic controllers. They're just waiting. You saw the UPS plane crash and burn on the runway. And, boy, what a fireball that was. Now it turns out 9 people were killed in that giant explosion. I don't know if it had anything to do with air traffic controllers, but if it did, the Democrats would blame Republicans, and then they'd go to lunch because they don't care about human life at all. Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary, who's not, Pete Buttigieg, who still hasn't been to the train disaster in East Palestine.
Many of the controllers said, a lot of us can navigate missing one paycheck. Not everybody, but a lot of us can. None of us can manage missing 2 paychecks. So if you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos, you will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it.
Close certain parts of the airspace in the United States of America, which hasn't been done since the radical Islamic jihadi terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, nearly a quarter of a century ago now. And the Democrats shrug and they say, oh, good, shut it down, because we're just going to lie about it, and then our media friends will lie about it too, and it'll all be fine. But shutting down airspace in the United States of America, isn't that amazing? Hakeem, he's a jihadi too, and he was raised and mentored by his uncle, the Professor Leonard Jeffries, a famous Israel-hating, Jew-hating, anti-Semite, River to the Sea mentor. And that was his growing up, his primary influence, just like Barack Obama with Frank Marshall Davis, the Communist Party member, major influence growing up. When I was growing up, I had nobody influenced me. I had nobody sharing anything with me. I had to figure it out as I went along. But here's Hakeem Jeffries on CNN. Again, Chuck Schumer, the Schumer shutdown. The Republicans have voted to keep the government open every single time. From the House of Representatives when they passed the continuing resolution that then moved over to the Senate. All the Republicans except Rand Paul have voted again and again and again to open the government. Every stinking, filthy Democrat, I think 1 or 2 have voted, oh, let's open the government, knowing that it's not going anywhere. Here is Hakeem Jeffries yesterday on CNN lying and lying and lying.
Donald Trump and Republicans shut the government down and refused to reopen it. Donald Trump has spent the last 35 days more time on the golf course, more time talking to Hamas, and more time talking to the Chinese Communist Party than to Democrats on Capitol Hill.
You mean bringing peace where there is war? That guy is a psychopath. Man, you know, most people can't lie like this guy can lie. This guy can lie like nobody's business. The Republicans shut the government down. The Republicans keep the government shut down. Trump has he's been traveling the world and being president of the United States, and it's pretty easy. You guys did it, 18 times during the 4 years of the Biden administration, voted to keep the government open with a continuing resolution, which is stupid and corrupt, but half of you should be in penitentiaries anyway. And Hakeem Jeffries should be dragged away belly down with his hands cuffed behind his back. Anyways, the Republicans shut the government down, and the Republicans keep it shut down. And the fake reporter there, Dana Bash, well, you know, come on. I mean, you're embarrassing me by saying such ridiculous lies when any idiot, if you get like Bazooka Joe comics once a week, you know that it's the Democrats that have shut it down and voted to shut it down 14 times. Dana Bash, whose ex-husband now was, of course, a member of the Obama administration. Naturally, it's all a circle fest in a hot tub. They're all in bed together. And he was one of the felonious 51 that signed on to that information operation they ran against the American people on the lead up to the Joe Biden presidential election. Dana Bash to Hakeem Jeffries.
Mr. Leader, you guys are voting no on opening the government, not Republicans. I know you're asking for specific things, and it's much more complicated than that. We'll get to that in 1 second.
Hold on a second, Dana, because let's just be clear about that. American people clearly understand who's responsible for shutting down the government.
Yeah, but you said they shut down the government.
They did shut down the government. They have the House, the Senate, and the presidency.
And that's that. And that was the end of it. Hey, Dana, you almost got a star for the day, but you only get 1 point. 1 point. That is just embarrassing. Now, what Dana Bash is supposed to say, what any journalist would say, what any actual journalist would say. And I haven't seen Dana Bash in a long time, but I've known her for longer than that. And the fact is, and she started, and then she, okay, and immediately starts deferring and backing. He told me not to tell the truth, so I'm not going to. And I would have said, well, listen, first of all, I would have had the data in front of me. I said, well, there have been 14 votes in the Senate, and the Democrats have voted to shut the government down every time. And every Republican except Rand Paul has voted every time to reopen the government. So how is it that the Republicans are shutting down the government when it's obviously the Democrats that are voting to shut the government down and keep the government shut down? And again, you'd have the data in front of you because you know that he's going to lie before you even walk into the room. But isn't that amazing? Oh, no. This could be the beginning of the Hakeem Jeffries again, because the lie is so gigantic. This is like Joseph Goebbels style lying. Make the lie so big that no one would dare to not believe it.
Donald Trump and Republicans shut the government down and refused to reopen it.
Yeah. Is that what happened? And Dana Bash took issue for a moment and then just gave up because, journalism is not their bag. Oh, the Speaker of the House was asked about this morning at his daily press conference about the Republicans trying desperately to reopen the government over the bloodthirsty objections of the Democrat Party.
Despite the 15 opportunities they have now had to reopen the government, they have voted 15 times to keep it closed. That is the number that everyone has to pay attention to, all the Americans who are hurting because of this. They need to understand Republicans have voted 15 times to open your government, and the Democrats have voted 15 times to close it.
I guess I missed the last vote on this because I've been using 14 as the number. The number is now 15. The Speaker of the House is not a liar like Hakeem Jeffries is a liar who lies all the time like a rug. He lies like a rug. He just lies all the time. Isn't that amazing? Yes, sir. Now, there's this Marjorie Taylor Greene, a former Republican member of Congress. She's still a member of Congress, but she has been a little nutty all along, and now she's full-blown nutty. She went on The View yesterday, which is an ABC News program, and with the people like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. Joy and Whoopi. And who's the other one? Sunny and Sunny, yeah. The ironically named Joy, the ironically named Whoopi, and the ironically named Sunny, because they are three dark clouds over civilization. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's sucking up to lefties on shows like The View, which, keep in mind, is an ABC News program under the ABC News budget, the ABC News umbrella. And this is what happened yesterday.
I want to say that I think that all of us right here are doing a great job of exchanging our ideas.
All of us.
And things that we believe in, and we're doing it in a very professional and kind way. I believe that people with powerful voices like myself and like you, and especially women to women, we need to pave a new path.
We need to pave a new path. Paving paths is hard work. You might need some men in there. You get some, maybe, I don't know, Michelle Obama coming. She's got arms like Larry Holmes. She could do it. Joy Behar was sitting there with Marjorie Taylor Greene sucking up to The View.
For me, I am unapologetically America first, and I'll do anything I can to work hard to save this country.
Maybe you should become a Democrat, Marjorie.
No, I'm not a Democrat. You know something? I'll say this. I think both parties have failed.
Yeah.
Both parties have failed.
This is worse. Yeah. This is worse. Sorry, you know that.
This is what, you mean the Democrats shutting down the government again and voting 15 times to not reopen it? Joy Behar and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
They say that you're slamming Republicans too much. Well, you're taking my job. You're slamming Republicans a lot on topics like health care, the Epstein files. We know he's still your favorite president. I mean, Truman is mine. I dated him.
Yes, Harry Truman. He was, let's see, you guys put the Japanese in internment camps, FDR and Harry Truman, and concentration camps, prison camps for Japanese Americans. Most of them were American citizens, and certainly in the country legally. But you set up a series of camps for them. And then Harry Truman dropped 2 atomic bombs, the only time in history, on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which I'm in favor of. But you guys couldn't be bigger clowns, I've got to tell you. There's Pramila Jayapal. That is allegedly her name. Pramila Jayapal, she is not on the side of the United States of America, and she's in favor of open borders and drug cartels and Kilmore Abrego Garcia and MS-13 and Tren de Aragua. She's not in favor of America. She's a Democrat member of the House of Representatives, Pramila Jayapal.
Being undocumented in the United States is not a crime. And I think it's very important that all of our listeners understand that. It is a civil system.
It is. Well, how was it that Senator Kennedy put it again?
Illegal immigration is illegal.
Yes, illegal immigration is illegal. And Senator Kennedy put it very well. It's not a crime. It's illegal. Illegal immigration is illegal, but not for the Democrats because of their many mental illnesses. Just extraordinary. So let's go to the phones. Let's go to Eduardo calling from Tampa, Florida. Eduardo, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Do you want a bag for it?
Uh-oh, he's shopping. Eduardo.
Yes.
You just got to the...
I need to call you back.
I need to call you back. That's funny. Eduardo, he just got to the... I could hear he was interacting with somebody. That's very funny. All right, we're gonna take a break. I got to call you back. I don't think I've ever heard that before. In 20 years, I got to call you back. He sounded sincere enough, though. I think he wants to call back. But, people are busy doing stuff during the day. Too funny. Yeah. It's not a crime to be in the country illegally. The Democrat Party is everything anti-American. The fundamental transformation of America that the crowd went wild about for Barack Obama.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Kind of peculiar, but the Statue of Liberty, when we woke up this morning, was dressed in a burqa, wearing a hijab, and carrying an AK-47. Might be a suicide vest underneath that burqa. Not that. Also, remember Mahmoud Khalil, the radical inciter of riots at Columbia University, who was ordered out of the country in September by a judge? Well, he's still here, and he was at the Mamdani rally last night in New York. You got to keep in mind that the three most important cities in all of Islam are Mecca, of course, in Saudi Arabia, and Medina in Saudi Arabia, number 2, and New York. Mecca, Medina, and New York, the three most important cities in all of Islam. Hey, wait, we don't have a lot of time, but Eduardo called. He actually called back. Hey, Eduardo, I hope you got all your business taken care of. You're on the Chris Plant Show.
Yeah, you called me right as I was getting some medication for Mom at Walgreens. But sorry about that.
You're a good son.
But, so moving on here, because I know your show is almost over here, is we should not be worried about it. We need to pass bills in the Republican Congress. We're gerrymandered, so we should not be scared about what happened last night. I mean, these Democrats, they're going to be very get ready for next year. We need to be on a counter-offensive as far as pushing back against these Democrats next year.
You know, I think
they're going to get really crazy.
Yeah, unlike now. Yeah, but you're right about that, Eduardo, of course. And I think, did we have a Gavin Newsom soundbite today about the gerrymandering? Because they won Proposition 50 last night. No, it's not him. And then Congressman Eric Swalwell, California Congressman Eric Swalwell, Chinese secret agent, his best girl and operator is Fang Fang. He said, 7 seats, that they may get 7 seats in California. And they blame Texas for it. It's like they blame Republicans for shutting the government down in Washington and Capitol Hill. They lie like children, Eduardo. They're crazy.
Yeah. And let's carry on these boat strikes in Venezuela, because those shipments are going to Belgium, Spain, Netherlands. The Netherlands premier said, good going, President Trump. We need to take care of Mr. Maduro.
Is that so? I hadn't even seen that about President Trump being congratulated. That's great. But
you want
listen,
to look into that? Yeah, next week announce it. Yeah,
I'm happy that you called back, though, and I'm happy that you got on and that we were able to talk. And I got to tell you, it makes me extra happy because you explained, and we hypothesized that you were at the pharmacy and at the front, and you're picking up meds for your mom. And I think that makes you an extra great guest. I'm really glad you called in. Thanks, Eduardo.